class. I hesitated. I wasn't sure what he was expecting me to say to such an obvious statement. Finally, I said, "Yes?" He nodded, then laughed, and said, "Sweetheart, I think you might be in the wrong class." I wanted to tell him not to call me sweetheart. I wanted to tell him not to talk to me, ever, as a general rule. Instead, I said, "I'm in the right class," and held up my crumpled schedule. Mr. Weber shook his head, even as he kept smiling. "Don't worry. This isn't your fault. It happens sometimes with new students. But the ESL office is actually just down the—" "I'm in the right class, okay?" I said the words more forcefully than I'd intended. "I'm in the right class." This shit was always happening to me. It didn't matter how unaccented my English was. It didn't matter that I told people over and over again that I was born here, in America, that English was my first language, that my cousins in Iran made fun of me for speaking mediocre Farsi with an American accent. It didn't matter. Everyone assumed I was fresh off the boat from a foreign land. Mr. Weber's smile faltered. "Oh," he said. "Okay." The kids around me started laughing, and I felt my face getting hot. I looked down and opened my blank notebook to a random page, hoping the action would inspire an end to the conversation. Instead, Mr. Weber held up his hands and said, "Listen, me personally, I want you to stay, okay? But this is a really advanced class, and even though I'm sure your English is really good, it's still—" "My English," I said, "isn't really good. My English is fucking perfect." I spent the rest of the hour in the principal's office. I was given a stern talking to about the kind of behavior expected of students at this school, and warned that if I was going to be deliberately hostile and uncooperative, maybe this wasn't the school for me. And then I was given detention for using vulgar language in class. The lunch bell rang while the principal was yelling at me, so when he finally let me go, I grabbed my things and bolted. I wasn't in a hurry to get anywhere. I was only looking forward to being away from people. I had 2 more classes to get through after lunch, but I wasn't sure my head could take it. I'd already surpassed my threshold for stupidity for the day. I was balancing my lunch tray on my lap in a bathroom stall, my head in a vice-like grip between my hands, when my phone buzzed. It was my brother. "What are you doing?" "Eating lunch." "Bullshit. Where are you hiding?" "In the bathroom." "What? Why?" "What else am I supposed to do for 37 minutes? Stare at people?" And then he told me to get the hell out of the bathroom and come have lunch with him. Apparently the school had already sent out a welcome wagon full of brand new friends in celebration of his pretty face, and I should join him instead of hiding. "No thanks," I typed, and then I threw my lunch in the trash and hid in the library until the bell rang. My brother is 2 years older than me. We'd almost always been in the same school at the same time. But he didn't hate moving like I did. He didn't always suffer when we got to a new city. There were 2 big differences between me and my brother. First, that he was extremely handsome, and second, that he didn't walk around wearing a metaphorical neon sign nailed to his forehead, flashing, "Caution, terrorist approaching." I shit you not, girls lined up to show my brother around the school. He was the good-looking new guy. The interesting boy with an interesting past and an interesting name. The handsome, exotic boy all these pretty girls would inevitably use to satisfy their need to experiment, and one day rebel against their parents. I'd learned the hard way that I couldn't eat lunch with him and his friends. Every time I showed up, tail between my legs and my pride in the trash, it took all of 5 seconds for me to realize that the only reason his new lady friends were being nice to me was because they wanted to use me to get to my brother. I'd rather eat in the toilet. I told myself I didn't care, but obviously I did. I had to. The news cycle never let me breathe anymore. 9/11 happened last fall, 2 weeks into my freshman year, and a couple of weeks later, 2 dudes attacked me while I was walking home from school, and the worst part was that it took me days to shake off the denial. It took me days.